welcome to All About the W, your weekly deep dive into the WSL. Today we are doing a deep dive into the League Cup final. Manchester United lost to Chelsea by two goals, by two rubbish goals. Um, and
Well done.
the
Very well done.
and the fact that we're both wearing red is totally coincidental and has nothing to do with Manchester United. Um, but before, if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. If you're old, make sure you like and share and do all those wonderful things and comment below your thoughts on the game. Okay, guy, without much ado, Chelsea won this. You have silverware now. What did you
Hmm.
make of this game?
It honestly felt like a final. It felt like a final immediately after the international break. It felt like a final that was being played in like bad rain, like not great conditions.
Yeah.
So it wasn't maybe not the most fun match to watch, but I think I was fairly happy with Chelsea's performance. Like a lot of places to improve
Yeah.
for sure. But really happy that Chelsea have silverware. Like, going into the game, I was very much like, it's the Subway Cup, like League Cup.
Yeah.
Nobody really takes it seriously. But then after the fact, like, when after Chelsea won, like just seeing the celebrations, it made me realize how much the team wanted it.
Yeah.
Like, compared to last season, I felt like this season, the energy around the celebration was just so much higher because there's just been a lot of turmoil at the club, right? Like, there's a lot has been written, a lot has been said by players and the press alike. So I feel like it was an important win for Chelsea to get.
Yeah, I do think it was an important win. I feel like Chelsea had, obviously, you were, like under the cosh. You had all, so like, we begin with the starting lineup. Chelsea literally just had like three senior players on your bench, in total, like defenders, midfielders, everyone combined. So, in that sort of scenario where, literally Bjorn, Captain, and Beaver Jones are your only like senior players to bring on, it is like dire straits for Chelsea. And in that sort of situation, to come out with such a convincing victory against United, because no
Mhm.
matter what the commentary team said, maybe the first half you could have considered quite competitive, but I think the
Mm.
second half is just all Chelsea. Like I don't see anything that would convince me that United deserved anything in this game.
Yeah, absolutely. I think maybe probably about the last 15 minutes of the first half, I felt like United had a bit of momentum.
Yeah.
And in the second half, like, like I almost feel bad saying it was all Chelsea because I just felt like it just got scrappier and scrappier.
Yeah.
And once like that horrible injury to Bjorn happens, right? I was very afraid that, oh, this is gonna kill our momentum
Yeah.
and United are gonna fully take advantage of the situation because now you don't have a centre back on the pitch
Yeah.
because Buchanan had already been subbed out. We didn't have a centre back on the bench. So, all of these things considered, I expected United to take advantage. I was worried that they would,
Yeah.
but I mean, yeah, I don't think they took advantage of much of anything, to be honest. Like, even, you know, like during the game, I kept saying when I didn't have my Chelsea hat on, like, I kept saying how United should be pressing Buchanan and Bourman.
Yeah.
Like, Bourman is a young defender. She's very comfortable with the ball at her feet, but she's a young defender. Buchanan has just come back from like a long ACL, and I feel like the one or two times they did get joy out of pressing them like once or twice. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I think. I mean, maybe we can speak a little bit about United setup.
Yeah, yeah. Just coming to United, what do you think went wrong for United? Because, like when we saw the way they set up, there was something missing. Like they were a little toothless in attack, right? Like, what do you
Yeah,
think went wrong for them?
I think. I mean, I feel like genuinely Mark Skinner just overthought this. Like, obviously they were missing Miyazawa.
Yeah,
So how do you fix that? So Skinner's idea of fixing that was to put Turland in the 10, Wangerheim as a striker, and Park on the right wing with like a bit of freedom to roam. I think that's what he wanted to go with. But like Turland is a goal scorer.
Yeah.
Like put her in the nine. Wangerheim, like she's a young player, and like of what we've seen of her, I don't think like it screams that she should
Yeah.
be playing striker in such a
Yeah.
high pressure game. And listen, to be fair, she almost gets a goal towards the end of that first half, but like you could see the frustration that Turland had, right? Like she was the one United player who was like constantly trying to make
Yeah,
something
like
happen. Like she
shots
had,
from distance and stuff like that. Yeah.
yeah, and like beating 3, 4 players and taking a shot, the one that sort of hits the bar. So I think, yeah, to me, it like, I feel like it killed everybody to some extent. Like, I fully expected Jess Park to start in the 10, for
Yeah.
example.
Yeah.
Um, I was looking at the stats, Ash. Jess Park had one touch in the opposition box. Like, Jess Park is not a player. She is your best player, arguably your player of the season. And that player in a cup final has one touch in the opposition box. That's just completely unacceptable.
Yeah.
Like, you've got, like, they completely, like, to some extent, I feel like United failed to bring her into the game,
Yeah.
but also Chelsea did a good job of, like, preventing
Canceling
her
her.
from having a lot of touches as well. So some credit to go should go to Chelsea, but at the same time, when we were doing the preview, I said I'm really curious to see how that roaming role of Jess
Yeah.
Park and Lauren James works out. And
Yeah.
only one of them roamed. The other one, well, maybe she roamed, but not with Paul.
Yeah. Like, no, this is my problem. Like, you want, if you want her on the strike, like, or like on the ball, sorry, like, you should have put Jess Park in the middle of the pitch, like, in that number 10 position. Put Wangerheim on the wing. If one wing goes, like, is less effective, that's still okay. But if your central midfield is not working, there's no distribution to either wing. So,
Yeah.
so I just feel like this, in terms of just the way this was with these 11 players set up also,
Mhm.
like put Turland in strike, put Wangerheim on wing, put Jess Park behind Turland.
Yeah.
Like, it's
That
so
is how
obvious.
In fact, that is how I expected them to set up. I expected them to have two, like, the midfield three to be Nalson and Zigiotti as like two eights
Yeah.
and Jess Park as a 10. That is how I expected them to play. And when we saw the lineup, we saw Turland was in the midfield, and I was like, that's probably wrong.
Yeah.
But then, sure, like she was not playing in the pivot, she was playing ahead, but still, I just thought, like a lot of decisions, even for example, Rolfer coming on and playing at left,
Yeah.
put Gabby George on at like fullback when you're chasing a goal, you're chasing the game. Don't like put one of the most impactful players you've had off the bench, like in Champions League. You remember that game against Spurs where she just like scored like a brace in like
Yeah.
5 minutes.
Yeah.
Like that is a kind of like she's a player who's hungry.
Yeah.
She wants to win games, she wants to win trophies. And you brought in for her mentality, and then you put her at left back when you're chasing a game. Like, what the
Yeah,
hell?
it's, I mean, that was the weirdest substitution for me. The fact that you like totally, like, you have your two best players, like, in terms of like impact on the game, Jess Park and Rolfer, and you put both of them in the wrong position, like, to impact the
Yeah.
game. Like, it just screams to me of like a manager who like overthought things and complicated
Yeah.
things that didn't need to be complicated. Anyway.
Yeah, I think he completely lost. Just one last thing on United. I feel like he fully lost that mental battle in some ways because,
Yeah.
we said this. The last game they're playing is against Chelsea in that FA Cup. And the first game back they're playing is against Chelsea.
Yeah.
And you have all this time in between to just think about Chelsea.
Yeah.
And I feel like he's just overthought the hell out of it.
Yeah.
And you also had to fix one big problem, which is Miyazawa not being there.
Yeah.
So I feel like all of these factors combined, I just feel like he lost the mental battle, whereas Chelsea just kicked on, like just pretty much set up the exact same way with different personnel. Lauren James had the exact same role. Like I didn't see too many tactical adjustments from that game against United, uh, like a month ago.
Yeah, absolutely. Just kept it very simple. The same, exactly same thing you did in the previous game against United. Um, so, what coming to Chelsea? Uh, Lauren James, striker.
I mean, Lauren James is absolutely everywhere. Like
Yeah,
I wish I could find a heat map for her because She was absolutely everywhere. Like she was involved even in that second goal. She's the one who plays that 1-2 with JRK before she puts that cross in. Um, she just dictated that game, like controlled the tempo of the game extremely well. And you could tell, like, this might be a bit of a problem for Chelsea going forward, because you could tell players were constantly looking to find LJ.
Yeah.
Like, like they were just like, huh, okay, I'll give the ball to LJ and then she'll do
Yeah.
whatever she wants.
And she
Just
was also
hold up
like
play.
hold up play. She was also carrying the ball, progressing the ball. She was receiving the ball in the box. Like she was practically doing everything.
Yeah, I think, and see, that's what you want LJ to do as well, right? Like, I mean, LJ as a nine is it's a bit of a joke,
Yeah.
but the reality is she's never going to be in the box.
Yeah.
The closest you're going to see her in the box is if she's running in with the ball
Yeah. That's what she was
or
doing.
at the edge of the
Yeah.
box taking a shot. Like, you will not see LJ beyond that. Even
Yeah.
for like free kicks and corners, she's not going to be in the
Yeah.
box.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, an exceptional performance from Lauren James, and I don't think United got anywhere near her at any point.
Yeah.
She was in complete control of the game, easily by like a country mile the best player on the
Yeah.
pitch.
What did you
Um,
make of Buchanan coming on for this game? Like
yeah,
starting for
I
this
think,
game?
yeah, the other two players I wanted to shout out, Buchanan first, was she was good. She was good. She made me a bit nervous because she was doing a lot of, like using her body really well to shield the ball, but at times, like, as a fan, I felt like she was a bit out of her depth, but I don't think she ever was. Honestly, I can think of only one mistake she made, which was a miscommunication between her and Kira Walsh. She misplaces one pass, but apart from that, I thought she was really good. And this is, again, this is where I feel like United will be kicking themselves, because this is a player who's been out for like what, 14, 15 months, and you can't put pressure on her. The center back pairing have never played together apart from like 15 minutes that Buchanan came on in the FA Cup game. So, like, yeah, I mean, I thought she was really good. I'm really happy to see her back, because uh, yeah, I mean, she is one of those players who, I've always wondered, is she gonna like do well at Chelsea? Is it done for her? So far, I feel like every time I felt like, oh, it's done for her, she's sort of come back with like good performances. And she's an experienced centre back, somebody who's won the Champions League. She's played alongside Wendy Renard at Lyon. So yeah, I mean, really really happy to see her back. But Poorman, oh my god, like, what a player. She was ridiculous. She was absolutely ridiculous. Some of the defensive numbers, Ash, if you have that in front of you, please pull that up, because some ridiculous shit in a cup final from a 19-year-old.
Okay, so for Burman, I have 15 defensive contributions, 2 tackles, 3 blocks, 5 clearances, 3 headed clearances, 5 interceptions, and 2 recoveries.
5 interceptions
And she
at
has
the
won 100% of her ground duels, which is 2.
yeah, which is crazy, because if you look at the entirety, our midfield, I think won 10 out of 26 duels in total, aerial and ground combined. So obviously she is putting in an extra shift.
Yeah.
And like, I mean, I can like remember the interceptions that she made at the edge of the box that were absolutely crucial. So obviously, I don't think Burman was tasked with progressing the ball too much in this game, as we've seen in the past. But I mean, what a defender! And number speaks for themselves. She was insane.
Yeah.
Incredible performance from her.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Absolutely. And of course, that final winner from Aggie was the uh, like chef's kiss on top of a great
Yeah, cherry on top.
cherry on top
Yeah,
of cake. Yeah.
yeah. It was nice. It was nice. It was a halftime sub. I think it was a pre-planned substitution, and there was that weird thing where the United like coaching staff went and like muttered something in her ear. That
Yeah.
that thing I thought was, it just felt a bit sleazy. I don't know what was said, but it just felt okay. Maybe not sleazy, but unnecessary.
Yeah, like
But I
I
mean,
don't like the idea that coaching, like players can like fight with each other and like throw like insults at each other. I'm like, unless it becomes physical, I'm okay with that. But like
mhm.
I feel like coaching staff should not get involved. They are professionals. They're just like like I genuinely feel like they should just like, these are young like players. I can imagine them like having a hot head and saying something stupid. But like I
Mhm.
can't I have to, like, the older coaching staff has to get less leeway, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. I thought it was really weird. It was unnecessary. But yeah, I thought she had a good game as well coming off the bench. Honestly, felt like she kind of relieved some pressure off of Lauren James in
Yeah,
some ways, because you could tell like 60 minutes in, LJ was tiring a little bit, and I
yeah,
felt like Aggie was doing a decent job holding up the ball, and she was making runs
yeah,
off the shoulders of the defender. So like those things, I think kept the United defenders occupied enough. So I think she did enough, and also the goal is, I mean, it's so poor. It is so poor from Lundqvist.
yeah,
She completely loses sight of the ball, and it's a bit of a poacher's finish, right? Like
yeah,
Aggie is the first to react to it, and yeah, I mean, honestly, not to like hate on one player, but I mean, a lot of people have said how Dominic Janssen, like,
for the
obviously
for
gets
the James goal.
dispossessed.
Yeah,
Yeah, but for me, I feel like it's like Lundqvist's throw to Janssen.
yeah,
It is so bad. Like, I mean, she's having to like catch it, like she's having to bring the ball down from a throw
yeah,
in when
yeah,
like Lauren James is like charging at her. And why do you want to put your player in that position? Like,
yeah,
and she took the throw in fast also. I was like, why are you taking the throw in so quickly? But
yeah.
anyway, I mean,
Okay, so I actually wanted to ask
forgettable
your
game for them.
last
Hmm.
thing. I actually wanted to ask your opinion on this. Like we've just spoken about both the goals, and you were like, oh, like obviously United could have done better there defensively to not concede those goals. As in, it like obviously they were bad goals to concede. But then Mark Skinner comes out post the match and says, that Chelsea scored like two rubbish goals.
Hmm.
And in my head I'm going like, at the end of like losing, you can't just be like, oh, your individual players made two mistakes, you also didn't score a goal, right? So it's like,
Yeah.
it's you, like, you can't talk about the things you did wrong. You didn't do anything right either. To win a final, you have to
Hmm.
score a goal, like at least one goal.
Yeah.
And so, like, when you set up as conservatively as you did, you're like, the chances you have to score that goal are reduced drastically. So, like, I just felt like United just didn't show enough ambition.
Yeah, absolutely. It's that thing, right? Like, I mean, it's kind of happened time and again between Chelsea and United in like cup finals. It's uh like there is a bit of overthinking, there's a bit of rolling over that we've seen.
Yeah,
Honestly, like compared to say the last FA Cup final performance, this League Cup final performance was like slightly better
yeah,
from United, but again, that's not saying much. Yeah, I think the rubbish goals thing, obviously, he's not referring to the quality of goals themselves. I think
yeah,
he's just referring to how they were conceded.
yeah,
But yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, cup final is about scoring goals, outscoring your opponent. And United probably created, in my head, probably like one clear cut chance, which is the Wangerheim miss for me.
yeah,
Apart from that, they were very toothless in attack, and you see the numbers, you'll know why,
yeah,
because they were just set up in a way that just completely like like took away from your best players.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
So I mean, it was like Skinner is this is something that annoys me about Skinner, right? Like, I mean, we obviously talk about it a lot, we laugh about it a lot, but he is very annoying after losses. He
yeah,
gets extremely defensive. He, for some weird reason, starts shouting, like his voice goes up. And yeah, and he says things like this, like, obviously I wouldn't say he's been misquoted,
yeah.
but if you look at the full quote, you know very clearly that he's not saying Chelsea's goals were bad.
Bad. He's saying
Like,
they were
he's not commenting on
badly
Chelsea's
conceded.
quality. Yeah, but you know It is what it is. He was emotional. He said what he said, but
Yeah,
he needs to also take a hard look in the mirror as
yeah.
well.
Anyway, congratulations to Chelsea for winning the League Cup champions for 2025-26. That brings us to the end of this episode. Make sure you tune in for our Asian Cup semi-final watch along between South Korea and Japan, and also tune in for our WSL review of the weekend tomorrow. We will see you next tomorrow. Bye bye.